All right, so Leos, welcome back, guys. All right, Leos, let's take a peek at whatever we may have here for Valentine's Day. So, universe, what's the big overview for Leo? Six of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Leo always comes up as a Queen of Pentacles. It's been so many months now. So all I can say is maybe our Leo has really strong like Earth placement or a really big let's say earth purpose. Let's put it in that context as we try to wrap our heads around, why is Leo always coming up as a Queen of Pentacles. The big message here is, Leo, you're killing it. You're doing great during this particular Valentine's Day. Leo should feel amazing about what they're doing, their purpose. They are moving forward in the right direction. They are, putting in effort and things that matter. And so Leo should be proud of the way they themselves are living their life. We also have somebody, I'm going to say the way Leo handled themselves with possibly a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius masculine is also something to be proud of. Leo, this is the message from the universe first, okay? The way Leo handled themselves with someone was to give them grace, even though with the moon here and the Four of Pentacles, Leo does not know and probably will not necessarily know anytime soon, or maybe ever, that the way they treated a King of Swords is something that this King of Swords needed. Now, I don't know. I'm guessing it was with tremendous respect. I mean, a Queen of Pentacles tends to make people feel seen and valuable. They give something of themselves to every person they meet. And I'm guessing that Leo's interaction with a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius masculine, possibly, but please do remember I don't actually read for genders. So it doesn't matter. This is about energy, not about gender. Leo does not know that it was really meaningful to them. And they're still turning over the words or the interaction. Let me ask, with that Four of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, although they are not reaching out to Leo, Leo handled themselves with tremendous grace. This person has a huge amount of respect for Leo. They are holding back from Leo, and yet they are perpetually, in this case, thinking, weighing in a way that Leo has no idea. Okay, they are weighing all the time what they may say to Leo, whether or not to reach out to Leo. That Page of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. They may also be wondering if Leo's going to reach back out to them. It feels like there's this like energy of, should I reach out again, or is Leo about to reach out to me? This feels, particularly this week in these 7 days, they're very heavily wondering about that. We have the Fool, we have the World, and we have the Strength card. I feel if they had been in a place of wondering since the last time they interacted with Leo, they have been wondering if Leo will reach back out to them or if they should reach out. I think it's going to become very, very clear to them that Leo not reaching out is testament to like who Leo really is as a person. Leo has a graceful exit stage left. Leo has conveyed to them something about, I am a loyal heart. I am also someone who holds myself in high regard. Something is different about the way they view Leo. And I think that for the first time ever, they're seeing the true version of Leo, because this is the Strength card. They are seeing the true energy. I mean, 3 major arcana. This is a tremendous breakthrough. I don't know that this King of Swords ever fully wrapped their head around the power, the strength, the courage, the intellect, everything that makes Leo who and what they are. I don't know that they ever understood Leo until this moment in time. Something about this week, something about they've kept thinking about the words that Leo said, the way Leo treated them. Leo has no idea that this person is like steeped in, like all of this thought process, but they have not stopped thinking about Leo, wondering if Leo would reach out, and then coming to this conclusion. No, Leo handled everything the way Leo really intended to. There wasn't anything left unfinished or unsaid. That was maybe Leo's goodbye, or that was Leo letting me go, because that's how Leo runs. That's how they operate. That is the true essence of them. Truthful, straightforward, eloquent, sophisticated, loyal heart, but also knows how to stay loyal to their own life and how to carry on. I feel like Leo said goodbye to a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, and it has been sinking in, even though they kept wondering if I'm going to hear from Leo, and it's finally sunk in. No, Leo, that was a change. Leo let me see the real version of them, and it was quite a sight to behold. And I feel like them understanding that. Let me take a look now that we've got a storyline here. The universe is just conveying to Leo, like, this person has only just now had it click who you are, Leo. We have Ace of Wands, we have High Priestess. Whomever this King of Swords is, holy smokes. They have greater attraction for Leo than perhaps they ever have. They also see Leo as somebody where there is like a mystical, incredible like pull. Leo's not like anybody they've ever met. We have the sun sideways. This is both, heartbreaking, and it's also amazing. It's kind of like they have figured out that Leo is something almost otherworldly. I don't know that they've ever had desire for anybody like they have for Leo, but it's so crazy that it's at a point where they're just now having it click. Leo's not going to be reaching out to me again. They are sitting in profound devastation and heartbreak, but they might also realize that they broke Leo's heart at one point in time. And yet the way Leo has carried on is unbelievable and is powerful. And it feels like Leo has somehow, after some conversation, has gotten closure, and Leo has made that clear, but in such a soft and gentle way that they almost didn't realize that was the last conversation they'll ever have with Leo. Leo will not reach out to them again. And it's only just now filtering in somewhere around this Valentine's Day that, and along with it, it's the first time that they're really seeing who Leo is. It's the first time that Leo's words and even their eloquent way of saying goodbye is striking them. And it's weird because this is the first time that they're really seeing the power of who Leo is. Like, Leo ended things with incredible aplomb, like there's just something about this very respectable closure. Oh my God, we have the devil. All of a sudden, they're getting more and more hyper-focused. They're getting more and more, like, on one hand, turned on and hyper-focused and desiring of Leo, and realizing what they've lost in losing Leo. By the way, we have Capricorn there. Also some Virgo, Cancer, and Pisces coming off of that High Priestess. Okay, now we have, I can say, Libra and Taurus with the Empress there. It's so weird. This is somebody who is, around this Valentine's Day, it's really clicking. Maybe because I kept wondering if they were going to have some other communication before Valentine's Day with Leo, and it's sinking in. Maybe they were reading something that Leo wrote to them, and they're realizing that was a goodbye. It wasn't a, I'm holding space for you. It wasn't like, we'll retouch base. I don't know why I'm feeling like this was a connection or communications more like maybe around Christmas or something. And then, it's like time passes and they're still expecting in these last, 2 months between, Christmas and Valentine's Day, that they were going to have another communication. They don't maybe realize that that last communication, I don't know, maybe it was November, maybe it was December, but they don't realize that that was actually the end of it. It's just now clicking. And now it's like that Leo, especially the way they conducted themselves with this ending, that was so subtle and so graceful. I didn't even realize that that's really what it was. They had already said goodbye to me. That was, if when I think about how Leo treated me with grace. They treated me in a way that, my God, I don't know that I've ever felt so much respect for somebody. But in the way they are so sophisticated, I didn't even realize that that was their goodbye, because now it's obvious. It was subtle but powerful, but so gracious that I did not catch it. And now that makes me really starving for Leo. That makes me realize even more what an incredible empress Leo is, and how they just walked away from me. I don't know that they've ever met anybody with Leo's like backbone or grace. And this could be what they're having a huge look. Maybe this is too little too late, but now they're like, oh my God, I've never loved somebody the way I love Leo. And it's because of the way they ended things with me. It's because of the way they handled me when I was around them, but it's also the way they ended things with me. Hang on. Can we just go back? Because I keep thinking that there must have been something in the way Leo closed things. What is the singular thing that makes Leo stand out to you so much? Oh God. 5 of Cups. Honestly, I am hearing that quote from Pablo Neruda, Song of Despair. In you, everything sank. I don't love poetry, to be honest, but for some reason I always do like very, meaningful, tragic poetry. And it's a great piece of poetry that captures the way it really feels, because it's like deserted, like the war of Dawn. Oh, abandoned one, in you everything sank. And I just always thought that that was, there is something very forlorn about, the war of Dawn, especially like in low tide. It just kind of always has a lonely energy to it. And I always thought that was such a great depiction. Anyway, that poem comes to mind, the wording comes to mind, the imagery comes to mind with this, because it's describing the feeling. And I was asking, like, what is it about Leo? There is something about Leo withdrawing their energy from this person's life and them having it click. That's it. Leo will never be in my world again. Leo closed a chapter with me in such a quiet way, kind of like the tide rolling out, and you almost don't notice it. But then once it's gone, you're like, oh my God, the vacancy that has been left is massive. So this is where they're at right now, is the awareness that I don't know if they thought there would always be this weird dialoguing going on between themselves and Leo, and now they've reread a message and they've realized that was Leo's goodbye, and it's been some span of time, and they're realizing there is no more Leo, and they are lost. I don't know if maybe up until now they didn't realize that somehow Leo was always like imagine if the moon were suddenly gone. We rely upon seeing the moon. We rely upon it. But imagine that suddenly disappeared out of our night sky. I mean, the feeling of panic that would go through us if something changes in our night sky. I mean, heck, I'm freaking out about Betelgeuse. I'm going to go supernova here. How are we going to lose Betelgeuse? No way, but that's what we're headed for. There are things that I'm just like, no, I expect those things to be constant, even though I know stars do supernova and burn out, but still, it's stunning to see the change in Betelgeuse right now. Sorry, if you're a sky watcher, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you won't know what I'm talking about. This 4 of Pentacles, this is an absence. It's a feeling of loss, and it's a feeling of like they don't know how to cope with this right now. They're again sitting here with that 4 of Pentacles. They somehow always thought that they had a ton of time to decide what they were going to do with Leo. And it is weird how it's around this particular Valentine's Day that they're realizing I waited too long or I didn't take action, and they still don't quite know what to do about all this other than this sorrow. Let me ask, actually, let's change decks. Universe, what is the better message for Leo around this Valentine's Day? Because, I mean, just because somebody else is feeling like, oh my God, Leo withdrew and now I'm freaking out, that doesn't mean anything for Leo. What does Leo have to look forward to? Honestly, possibly a new lover, a very spectacular new soulmate is on the horizon. We literally have a Six of Cups and the Lover's card. We could have a powerful Gemini coming in. This could be seemingly like Leo's world could change on a dime. Go on. Ace of Wands, I would not be at all surprised if somebody fun and chatty suddenly shows up in Leo. Leo could share a kiss with somebody that is like out of this world, somebody that Leo did not expect to encounter. I want to say it's because Leo is moving forward in their life. And if we go back to one of those first two cards, Leo closed a chapter with grace, and then here they are like flying forward on an airplane. I could see Leo moving forward in their life. God, look, and we have the Chariot. Leo, as they are consciously thinking of themselves as, I'm done with that person of the that King of Swords, that last conversation that I had with them, I realized that was it. They didn't move toward me. They didn't try to hold on to me. So that's why I'm gone now. That was real for Leo. Leo sees themselves as moving on. Just because that other person is going through the huge Leo withdrawals and their world is crashing down, realizing Leo is truly gone, it doesn't change anything with the fact that Leo truly is moving forward. And that is probably why they're meeting a new soulmate. They're meeting a new lover. They're meeting somebody that I think is possibly going to be like the greatest emotional match ever. Certainly great conversation. There's a lot of hope here for both Leo and this new person. God, I hope that this goes somewhere. I hope that this becomes something really awesome. There is a sense of gentleness, a sense of, passion, a sense of like what we could build. 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Leo and this new soulmate. By the way, this soulmate could have a beard. They may work doing something like road construction. They may have to work weird hours. Maybe they work nights. But Leo sees them, early mornings when they get off work and before Leo's day begins. It could be unconventional, but the two of them are going to work on figuring out how we can spend more time together, a late night. I feel like Leo's going to celebrate Valentine's Day at a weird time. Maybe it's like, midnight or it's 5 a.m. or something. But I feel like Leo is headed toward a new soulmate energy. Maybe it's not right around Valentine's Day. Maybe it's not until a little bit afterwards, but Leo is gravitating toward a new romantic partner. And it might be a little unconventional, and they'll have to work at figuring out how to make this happen. Doesn't matter. These two are going to be able to talk so much. Well, even here we see the difference between two different worlds. Like, I'm in the water, you're above on land. Doesn't matter. These two will find a way. Leo and this person, they are going to make it work. I don't think that the person who's going crazy over losing Leo gets another shot with Leo. Let me get one card for them. 5 of Cups in the reverse. All I can say is Leo doesn't feel like they lost whoever that King of Swords is. Especially not when Leo meets this new soulmate. I love this for Leo. I love this new energy. All I can say is it's going to be a real sad Valentine's Day for the person who held back and held back and held back to the point where Leo actually left. They are going through the feels. And I kind of think that this is the end of the line for Leo thinking about them. It's just crazy because this is somebody who knows what they lost now in losing Leo. And it's going to hit very hard this Valentine's Day. But we also have Leo moving forward with somebody new. So that is what we got. I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.